Nicole Wolfe from Canadian Beats, and we are in studio in Toronto, Ontario, with the lovely Was It The Walrus. Thanks very much for joining us, guys.
Absolutely.
So introduce yourselves. Who have we got sitting here on the couch?
I'm Alex. I play bass in Was It The Walrus.
I'm Jason, and I sing and play guitar.
And I'm Scott on drums.
Awesome, awesome. So here we are. It's 2016. You guys resurrected your band in 2015 after a long hiatus, which I'm sure it's refreshing to be back in the studio. What's in store for 2016?
So, as you know, we're working on our, debut album.
Right.
So, currently recording that, and shortly after that, we have just a cross-Canada tour that we're working on right now.
Awesome. So, when will that be in the works? For in the summer, do you think? Or?
Yeah, so we're playing a lot of marquee festivals in the summer. We're playing, so the album is scheduled to come out in April. And shortly after April, we start in Toronto, then we go to Hamilton, and we make our way west and come back and make our way east. So all through the summer in a town near you.
That sounds fantastic. We look forward to it. Now, for someone who hasn't heard your music before, you probably got some fans that will be remembering you from the days of old. When you played in Montreal a lot, and I guess you were mentioned as being one of the pretentious bands of the Montreal music scene, which I'm sure you just love having that name come up again and again. But I mean, when you look at the names that were on that list with you, it's an accolade.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure, right?
We definitely did. Yeah.
For sure. So, for someone who hasn't heard your music before, how would you describe your music?
It's totally pretentious.
Yeah.
No, it's actually, one person said that we were like a suburban party band, and with the best parts of the 90s and twisting in some modern touches to that, and I think that's pretty good. I think we are definitely some kind of party band. Some alternative pop, suburban party band that try and heavily influenced by the 90s for sure.
Which is a great era to be influenced by. Canadian artists that you're influenced by. Who drives your music in the Canadian business?
There's so many good artists. I mean, local people in Toronto. We
Tokyo
love
Police Club. We love those guys.
We like July Talk a lot.
July Talk are awesome.
July Talk are great. Colorado, obviously, they're great. Pup, they're amazing.
Yeah, Pup's awesome.
Montreal bands that we like. We're big fans, and we were big fans of Sam Roberts too. Like that guy, he's awesome. So it depends, right? There's so many good Canadian. It's a good time to be a Canadian band right now.
It really is. Yeah. It really is, and it's such probably a different music scene than when you left the scene so many years ago.
Sure.
How has it changed for you? Like just the music scene in general.
Well, we were, as you know, part of the Montreal indie scene.
Yes.
And that was when Godspeedy Black Emperor and Wolf Parade and the Arcade Fire, of course, who were just sort of blowing up onto the scene, and that became like this micro hub of just everybody from Montreal sort of sounded, for lack of a better term, like an arty indie rock band.
Right.
And I think that since then, they had a huge influence. You could hear so much of that era of that 2006 indie scene from Montreal. You can hear it in today's music, but I think today's music is a lot more upbeat than it was back in 2006. It's a lot more about trying to capture some kind of moment, but I definitely hear the influences in today's music that we had in 2006.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things that's probably changed a lot for you is social media, which was probably pretty much non-existent, or it was around, but didn't have the same importance that it has now. So, are you guys, taking that by storm? Are you embracing social media as you relaunch your band?
Yeah, totally. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, or Instagram. And lots of friends and family and other people we don't know follow us and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool.
It's so cool to have connections with our fans like that. Like a funny story. On our way here, we were just talking about just the simple thing of having a GPS on your phone,
Yeah.
knowing exactly where you're going every single time.
Yeah.
Like we did not have that in the early 2000s. Like you got lost so many times on
Yep.
tour. You would
Yep.
just get lost, and you'd be like, okay, are we going to make it on time?
Buy maps.
And now it's like,
Yeah.
it's virtually like impossible to get lost. It's virtually impossible to not be on time. And it's
That's true.
and social media for that matter is like, people will ask us, when's music coming out, and it takes it just brings you so much closer to the people because they tell you exactly if they like you or they don't, right?
That's right.
They're right there in your face telling you.
Instant feedback for sure.
So I think it's just set up to succeed. Most bands today, if they do it properly, I think are set up for success.
Mhm.
It's so easy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now you write your music. I've read before that you write your music with the live performance in mind.
Mhm.
Has that always been the case for the band, or is that something that's kind of you've realized that's where your niche is as a band?
Yeah. Definitely we write because live is something that Alex really likes doing. Like he just loves the live aspect. It's that 1 half an hour, 45 minutes, what have you, where you're kind of just hanging out and just having a good time.
Yeah.
So I'm sure everybody's seen the band that was, great on record but mediocre live because it was so dense and there wasn't much movement. And
Right.
the fans are just like this for like 45 minutes, just staring at them and saying, "This is so great." Well, we did not want that. We wanted the opposite of that. We wanted people to just lose their minds and just dance and go crazy. And after the show, say like, "Oh my goodness, is that it?" Like 45 minutes went by so fast. So we definitely write our songs with the end in mind, and that end is having a good time live.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, Indie Girl, your single. When I listen to that song, I hear influences almost of Sloan. Definitely
I've heard
Weezer.
that.
Yeah.
In that song. What's the story behind that song?
It's a good question. So, again, starting with the end in mind, with the party, we could relate to, the scene, girls coming and watching shows, and not only girls, but guys as well. But we have we believe that girls drive the scene, right? It's like you're either going to a show because you want to meet a girl, or you're buying a record because you want to impress that girl.
Sounds about right. Yep.
So we totally focused that first song on the indie girl, right? Because she has so much power in that scene that it's worth mentioning. And again, it's a really fun song live. It's just grooving, and it's all about the indie girls.
Fantastic. But this is not necessarily a specific indie girl, just the essence.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Every show, there's always a couple that come out, sing along to every song, and seem to know everything about the band, and are just totally awesome.
That's
and just
great.
make it so awesome to play live.
For sure. That's great. Now, you're working with John Drewe right now, recording with him. He's obviously got some big names under him, Tokyo Police Club being one of them, Arkells being another band that he works or produces for. What's it like working with him?
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's so
really
cool.
good.
He's just like so easy to work with. He's a genius, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I've got nothing but good things to say about him. So
I think everybody who's worked with him, I think most people who've worked with him and have actually had, the relationship we have with John is, it's 50-50, right? We will listen to his ideas, and he will totally listen to our ideas, and it just seems to work perfectly because he's just a master at getting that sound. He'll listen to a song for literally 2 minutes, and then he'll ask you a few questions like, "What are you hearing? What do you see here? What do you do?" And he's like, "Okay, I'll be back." And 2.5 hours later, it's like you're set up, and it just sounds exactly like you thought it would.
Amazing.
it's good
He's
chemistry. with
fantastic.
us.
amazing.
Yeah.
He's so good at that, and it's really hard because I was talking to the guys about that. When you write the song as a songwriter, you have this vision for it. You have this kind of idea, and it sounds a certain way. It never sounds that way the first time you play it for the guys, right? It just never does.
No.
And you're like, "I swear, it's much better than that." And and then they're like, "Yo, okay." And you explain it to John, and every time he seems to get exactly what you're talking about. I told him I think our new one of our songs that we're working on right now, it's a little more of a dancier song. I told him, he's like, "So how would you describe the chorus?" And I said, Well, the way I hear it in my head is that it blows up kind of like a bag of popcorn in the microwave. And he's like, got it.
Yeah.
And like he totally got it. And he's like, okay, let's do that, blah, 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 blah.
Wow.
When you could talk like that with someone, and when you could have someone not only listen to you and say like, yeah, that makes sense, that's so, and get excited about it, I think, we love working with John.
Yeah, but he's so good. Like sometimes he'll go over something and you'll hear something, and we're like, "How did you hear that? Like through all of that, you heard that?"
Amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's really good. Yeah, that will pretty much guarantee your success, right?
Yeah.
Like you've got someone that you can work with that you just gel with. Like
Totally.
That's wonderful. Now, where are you in the process of your album? How far along are you?
I think we're halfway there.
Yeah.
Like I think we're halfway done, and we've got, all of February, like shortly after this interview will be done, we're going to be in studio and we're going to be recording the
Second half, I guess.
second half
Yeah.
of the album, which is
Right.
going to be a lot like the first half. But yeah, so we've done half the album so far, and we're looking forward to doing. We're just looking forward to releasing it because there's so many. Like Indie Girls has been out now playing on college radio for 2 months,
Right.
and it just feels like it's been out forever. Like we've
Yeah.
heard this song for almost a year now ourselves, and there's so many songs on the album that are so much. So it's so much more indicative of the sound that we're talking about, that
Right.
party sound, that suburban party.
Right.
And we can't necessarily release them, A, because they're not done, B, because, the record company wants to make money. Too. So if you're giving all your stuff away before that, there's no incentive for them. So,
That's right.
but, sorry about that.
But that just gives you incentive to get it done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, we can't wait to get it done.
For sure. Now, you guys are going to have a busy February, it sounds like, and then, going to be hopefully enjoying the tour life this summer. But what do you do for fun outside of recording, outside of performing as a group?
Well, I have a 11-year-old son that plays hockey, so he takes up pretty much all my spare time.
Morning practices. And
Yeah,
all
well,
that.
he's 11, so it's not the 6 a.m. stuff anymore.
Nice.
But he plays competitive, so it's he's on the ice 4 to 5, 6 times a week sometimes.
Pretty consistent,
yeah, and he likes to play soccer. So my son keeps me occupied.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, I tried skiing the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking rocked it. It was amazing.
Amazing.
I did push a little kid out of the way to start with, but it got better after that.
Yeah.
Setting the tone, right?
Yeah.
So,
I even tried a lesson. I had to walk away after like 10 minutes because it was boring. They weren't taking me down the fast hills.
Oh my goodness. But no broken bones, here you are. So.
I know, amazing, right? Apparently you're supposed to wear a helmet while skiing. Did you know that?
Absolutely.
Which is silly because if you think about it, snow is soft. So.
Well, hey, we grew up in the 90s and we didn't wear any helmets for anything.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned skiing. I went for the first time this weekend since high school. And I didn't wear a helmet either. But I felt like completely out of place. And if I go again, I definitely probably wear one. You should protect the melon.
Not about the helmet.
Protect the melon.
Yeah.
It's important. Absolutely. So, you're inviting Canadian Beats over for dinner. What are you going to make us?
oof. Well, you know what?
Something vegan?
That's, well,
Yeah,
if
let's
you go
just
to his
get-
house.
we just do takeout.
If
Probably.
you go to his house, you'll have vegan. But that's one thing that we're all pretty good at. We're
Yeah.
pretty good at cooking, and we make some really good foods.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to taste his chicken wings before I stopped eating meat because if you eat meat, his chicken wings are awesome.
Yeah.
You know
Are
what's
they what
funny?
made you vegan?
That's
Because
part of
he's never gonna have anything better.
Eat too many of them.
She has eaten a lot. Every time he comes over, he's like, "Can you make me chicken wings?" But I love the segue where we're just saying that we're amazing cooks, and he's like, "His chicken wings are dynamite." It's
Dude.
like, yeah, they're pretty.
Your
good.
wife's lasagna is pretty amazing.
Awesome, so good. So you'd probably have lasagna and chicken wings if you came over.
Sounds like a good meal.
Yeah.
We'll be there. Now, in 20 words or less, describe your band for us.
I'm gonna keep count. You're on the clock.
Okay.
It's 2.
Alternative pop, gem, Toronto Canadian, suburban, party,
Beach
hardy,
Boys on steroids.
rock band. Oh, I got 10 more.
Sounds like the worst.
Beach
hashtags
Boys on
ever.
steroids.
You'll hear just the perfect blend of Sonic Youth, the Ramones, and Weezer. in our music.
3 amazing bands,
There you go.
right? And just the right mix for there, for sure. It's amazing. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure talking to you today, and I, for one, definitely look forward to this summer.
Oh, cool.
We'll catch you on tour at some point, and we'll make sure that we get you out on Canadian Beats again. So
Wicked.
thanks very much for joining us today. I look forward to the album. We look forward to reviewing it and seeing what 2016 has to offer.
Cool.
So thanks very much. This has been Nicole Wolfe with Canadian Beats. We'll see you next time.